This is a very easy project and very fun. And to make the olives, I have my silicone map down, I have my fondant roller, I have my cornstarch, I also have some Gum Tex Tylose powder. This will firm up the olives so they're good to put on the cupcakes and they don't get all melty. And I also have toothpicks here. I have 2 frosting tips, and this is for cutting though, and you'll see in a second what I'll do with these. One's a large one, and the other one's a smaller round tip. This one's a Wilton 2, and this one's a Wilton 14. I also have a tray. This is a cookie tray, and I put down some parchment paper because this will be what I will dry the olives on. And I also have some glue, which is sugar glue, and I make my own. I'll put in the link in my descriptions how I make this. First thing I did was I did have some white fondant, but I color my own fondant. And the reason I do that is so I get the exact color I want for any project that I'm doing. Now I used a green color, but I added a little yellow to it and a little brown, and that made it this olive color, which I think is really pretty. And then for the pinto part, which is the inside of the olive, that's the pepper, I have some I added some red and a little bit of copper to this to give it this color, because I didn't want it really red. I wanted a little orangey red. I'm going to take my cornstarch and put it on my mat, and I'm going to flatten this out with my palm and just roll it out. And I do have the rings on the side, and I have a medium ring here. The reason you do this is so that each olive is the same size when you roll it. So how easy is that? So you don't have to even think about it or weigh it. And I'll be cutting out 24 more. And if you do want this firmer, I forgot to add the step of the Tylose, so I'm going to do that with this. Now I'm going to roll out the pepper. This time I'm going to take my smaller round tip, and I have a toothpick here to have it come out. And see, it looks like this, so it's flat, and I want it a little bit more roundy, so I'm going to round it. And then you're probably asking how you're going to put it in here. Well, I'll show you in a second. So I have this fondant tool that have metal balls at the end, and I'm going to use the smaller one. And all I'm going to do is take the end of this and just put an indentation in here, kind of go around with it. Get a little bigger. Maybe I'll use the larger size. I'm going to use a little larger size, I think. Then I'm going to put this in my sugar glue, just kind of a little bit on the end, and then you just plop it in there, and then you want to press down with it with your finger. So it looks like this. Now I'm going to put the toothpick in the olive, and to do this you want to put a little bit of the sugar glue on the toothpick. I just put it on the top, and then when you slide it through it will go on to the olive. So I'm just going to spear it in like this. You can do it at a diagonal or however you want to do it, and make sure it doesn't slide down, and that's how you put the toothpick in. Now this part you want to be sticking out farther than the top, because that's where you put it in the cupcake. And for these to firm, I'm going to put them in the oven with the oven light on all night.